Welcome back to the Fitness League, helping busy humans build strong bodies, sharper minds, and better lives. Join us each week as we cut through the noise, challenge the norms, and empower you to train smarter and live stronger. In this episode, we are going to be breaking down an upcoming trip and showing you guys how we tackle the out-of-routine festivities. So we will be in Disney. This episode comes out about a week before we leave, I believe. So we'll be in Disney for 4 days, and if any of you have gone, you know it is pure chaos. So there's not a whole lot in your control. So we're going to talk about what you can control and the things that we're doing, not necessarily to stay on track with our fitness goals, but just to feel better while we're away, enjoy that time with our family, with our kids, have the energy, which does still play a role in our fitness goals in a sense, but it's not the focus for the week. So with that, we'll dive on in. Welcome back.
I would just like to point out that last time we went to Disney, which was pretty much exactly a year ago, we said that we would wait until Wes was about like 3 or so until we were going to come back to Disney. And here we are 1 year later, going back to Disney with a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an 8, almost 9-month-year-old. That should explain my current state of being. So, we do enjoy Disney. I think it just is one of those places that it just is so easy when you have kids. Like, they really do make it so easy to travel to. And the kids, I think Cora's at a really fun age. And we were like, you know what? Like, we need a break for at least a few days. And it just felt like the easiest option for some reason.
Yeah, it's obviously been, as you guys have heard, it's no longer a season. It's been a year of just sprint chaos and don't have many brain cells left. So this is just coming up for air. We've been looking at this. This was circled 2.5, 3 months ago, and now it's next week, and that was a blink. And that's how this year has gone, and we needed this. So yeah, going to the beach, going anywhere else, just at this stage of parenthood with the age that our kids are at, it just sounds and feels like a chore. So like Disney, when we say Disney is easy for like this age group, it's not that it's relaxing, but the kids are so self-entertained. Like, any of you have heard me talk about Disney before, I am not the self-proclaimed Disney guy. Like, that is not my go-to. Without kids, you will not catch me at Disney World, Disneyland, any of the Disney things. Don't enjoy it. Don't enjoy it as an adult. I love seeing how happy the kids are there. And I appreciate, as a business owner, like just paying attention to the details and how far they go above and beyond with the experiences and the animations. And just like, I listened to a Founders Podcast episode, I think it was like 3 hours long on Walt Disney and like creating Disneyland. And I can really appreciate the thought that went to every single thing that is in Disneyland. I don't know if he was alive for Disney World, but within the Disneyland park. And I can appreciate those things. And so I'll look around, I'll enjoy kind of the business aspect in a sense. That's probably sounds really weird, but that in conjunction with how much fun the kids are having. And it's not us like being the leaders of the circus and entertaining them all day and like, oh, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? It's just looking around as we're walking through the park. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Doing all the rides, being so like baby friendly. Like, there are very few rides that Wes can't do. So, we'll kind of lay out what we're going to be doing, but like a lot of things we'll pick out for Kai, and we're going with another family. So some of the older kids, and then most other things are filled with stuff that the younger kids and the babies can do. So it will be a bit of a brain break. It's not going to be a relaxing trip, but it's going to be a nice little period of a few days to just unplug and decompress, get that family time, recharge, fill our cups up with the kids' happiness, and carry on from there.
Yeah, and we're going with friends. We really enjoy being around here at home, so it'll be extra fun. But back to what you said about Walt Disney. So this week, because you made me listen to that podcast, that Founders Podcast about Walt Disney too, and I think we've talked about it on the podcast a little bit, but it was super interesting just to hear like the actual story of Disneyland. So I bought like just a little biography book about Walt Disney for Kai this week. And in our homeschool this week, we're just having a little extra focus on top of his normal curriculum, just about like entrepreneurship and Disneyland and like how he built it. And I'm going to have them like design their own theme park and color it in and stuff. And it's been so much fun like being on this homeschool journey so far. But I feel like our first like, what has it been, like 6-8 weeks or so, that was more so like us finding our groove and like me finding my groove with them and all the kids. And like we would just kind of stick to the curriculum every day, get that done and kind of check the boxes. But now we found our groove and we're like at a place where I can start to weave in these fun things. And I'm getting really excited about just like little things like this, like just being able to teach him a little bit about the place we're going to next week. And I'm sure that will continue as we go to various different places over the years. We're not always going to go back to Disney. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there too. Like there's some learning happening this week so that we can all just take a few days off next week and have that hit that reset button rather.
And to give you the flowers that are overdue, I know I say this to anyone who asks about homeschool, but I haven't told you very often that I am just very proud of how well you've tackled this. And this was not supposed to be entirely on your plate. It's kind of just how it worked out with how you've tackled it and organized it. And he's doing such a great job, and Cora's doing such a great job, and you've done an incredible job managing all of this and
Thanks.
not letting this just be a thing we half-ass. We don't half-ass anything, and you've crushed it. You've knocked it out of the park. So
Thank you. That was very kind. It's been fun. Like I said, it took a little bit for us to figure things out and find our groove, but they are great kids and he is doing really great listening to me and he's involved in it. So it makes my job easier. And it's really cool seeing Cora pick up on things already at a little over 2 years old. So I'm really curious to see how that continues. But I can promise you once we get to algebra or like geometry, I'm going to be pulling you into the conversation here.
that's fine. Kai's done great. Cora has done incredible. Like she's that girl she's always been a firecracker, but she has full sentences, speaks to me like she's 12 years old, and I'm just mind boggled. Kai is very smart. He's always been very smart. Not to say she hasn't, but she's 2 years old. It's hard to see. This isn't a smart thing, but it was just hilarious. We're on the couch yesterday, cuddling, and she loves chapstick. So her mother gets her a thing of chapstick from the store, and she's applying it for 20 minutes, and it's going from her lips to her cheeks to her forehead, and I let her go for literally 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this now. So I remove it from her hands. I put the cap on. I put it on the stool, and she just calmly turns to me and says, Daddy, you don't touch that. That's mommy's. She's using her hands. She's pointing. She's scolding me. That is mommy's chapstick. You do not touch it. Do you understand me? You don't touch it. Don't pick it up like for 5 minutes. Realistically, 2 or 3 minutes. She's scolding me like this over and over and over. You don't touch it. That is not yours. That's mommy's. And I am dying laughing. And that's been the tone of Cora for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Just finding hilarious ways to scold me and saying the most ridiculous things where I just die laughing and we carry on with our day.
I think we used to say Kai would rule the world one day, but I'm 100% certain she will be president, or she is something else. That girl, she is. But anyway, all that to say, it's been so much fun. We're kind of off on a little tangent here. So let's get back to what we came here to talk about today. And we've talked about this a few times over the years, like probably last Disney vacation we went on a year ago. But I think it's a worthwhile conversation to bring up again and again, because I think it does become a stressor for a lot of people on a fitness journey, on a health journey. These things come up, whether it's a vacation, whether it's the upcoming holidays, whether it's just, lifing. There's going to be inconsistencies that happen when it comes to your routines, your schedules. And I think a lot of people likely look at how we live our lives and our routines and assume that we just kind of do the exact same thing on vacation. And we don't. It's not exactly the same whatsoever. And we'll kind of go into what changes. But there are a lot of things that we do keep consistent, not because we're afraid of straying away, like off of our routine, but more so because We just want to feel good. Like, I want to go to Disney and I want to feel good and have energy and really be present and mindful with my family. And I cannot do that if I throw everything I know as far as habits and routines out the window, because then I'm just going to feel terrible. My digestion's going to be off, my energy's going to be low, I'm going to be tired, extra tired. And everybody around that is going to feel that and feed off of that. So their behavior depends on us being consistent with the things that we are consistent with. Would you agree?
Yeah, and just to kind of hammer that point home, regardless of where you're going, if it's a vacation, if you're just traveling, like think about your mood when your digestion is off, when you're tired. Like you're just not all in it. And if you're away, you're traveling, you're naturally going to be tired for a few days. So if you can't capitalize on the things that you can control to get yourself back into fighting shape there for the week, 4 days, whatever it is, you're not going to enjoy it to the fullest extent. This is one of my biggest regrets about our honeymoon. We've talked about this on an episode as well. We went to Maui. It was about a 10-day trip, bouncing from San Diego over to Maui, back to San Diego, home. For the majority of that trip, I couldn't wait to get home. This was in the midst of my Barrett's esophagus journey and that or before the healing process, but in the midst of that struggle and just being uncomfortable all day in the middle of the most isolated piece of land in the world was just, it further debilitated me. It was very unenjoyable. So all of these things that we focus on aren't to be like, oh, we got to stay on track with our goals and I don't want this to set me back when I get home. Sure, that's a nice byproduct, but it's just because I want to have fun with our family. Like I want to go enjoy, I want to be there, I want to have the energy and like have fun memories and not be like dragging and can't wait to go home. That defeats the whole purpose. You should have just stayed home if that's the way you look at it. And there are certain situations that we look at and we're like, you know what, this isn't really worth the time, or right now isn't the right time to deviate because of X, Y, and Z. And we know this will just kind of set us back. And I know for some people, like you just don't go on trips very often for that same purpose because you don't know how to handle it. And when you do go away, you know, it is entirely off the rails and you come back feeling like crap and then you regret it. And then the next trip gets punted because like, well, this trip kind of stunk and I don't want to waste money on another trip that does this. So hopefully this episode kind of clarifies some things for you. But to give you an idea, I actually just booked this stuff this morning. So to kind of paint the picture of what a day looks like, I'll break down our schedule. So if you guys are Disney fanatics, maybe you'll get a kick out of this. If you're not, it's just to explain like the flow of a day and how much is going on. So in my opinion, again, I'm not a Disney guy. This is just kind of some things we learned after going a handful of times. I don't think it's even worth going without Lightning Lane for what you're spending to get there and like the whole deal. The first time we priced it out, considering Disney with Kai, the debate was, it was actually Hawaii or Disney, and they were similar prices. Again, I think it was like a 8-day trip, maybe it was 10-day trip, travel, renting cars, the time. I think we were jumping from San Francisco for that one with how we priced it out versus 4 days in Disney was the same price. And the only reason we're like, oh, obviously I'd rather go to Maui, but baby, wicked time zone change, dealing with that for the next month. Schedules are off. We're never adapting. How much fun we can have when he's crying, we're on the beach trying to do some stuff.
I was pregnant with Cora.
You were pregnant the first time?
Yeah. That was like our last hurrah trip. We were like, oh, let's take Kai to Disney because we'll probably never go back to Disney again for another 5 years. Haha. We've been back like several times since then.
Anywho, so day one. So anyway, we do the lightning lanes to get your money's worth. So all that, I forgot what I was saying, but all of that was to say it's very expensive. So if you're not doing stuff and having the Disney experience, like it is not worth going. So we spend, I think it's average like $25 per person over the age of 3 per morning park. If you have Park Hopper, then you can use it for both. So we do Park Hopper. We go for a couple days and we'll do 2 parks a day. Morning park, lunch, evening park, what that looks like. So day one, we have the multi-pass lightning lane. So we're starting off our day at Kilimanjaro Safaris, basically a drive-through safari there. And then we have Expedition Everest, 9:30 to 10:30 we can arrive. And then we have Avatar, 9:30 to 10:30. So those windows will overlap. Then we have the Navi River from Avatar, 10:50 to 11:50 arrival window. That'll basically stock our morning, and then we'll sneak in a couple smaller rides with the kids during that So this one actually worked out pretty darn good. We shouldn't have to wait for basically anything the first morning. Then we go back to the resort for lunch. The babies are going to nap. And then we are going to jump over to Magic Kingdom. So that was Animal Kingdom in the morning, Magic Kingdom in the evening. Nothing's booked on Lightning Lanes yet. Once you scan in your first park, your first ride, then you can then start booking for the second park. So we'll have a few more that we can use throughout the day at Magic Kingdom. But we also have dinner at Ohana at 5:10, which means that first day, we're waking up, getting breakfast, shooting over to Animal Kingdom, going through all that for the morning into the early afternoon, shooting back for nap time. And then we're going to Magic Kingdom, taking the monorail to Ohana, taking the monorail back to Magic Kingdom, fireworks, and then I don't know if we could take the Skyline or a bus back to the resort. So it's a very, very busy day. And the second day is basically the same thing in a different park. But we are booked the entire day outside of a short window for going back to recover real quick for lunch and nap time for the babies, which means you're not finding a hotel gym to work out at. We are navigating the meals based on what's available to us wherever we are. So best situation there. Sleep, going to be off for the kids, obviously. They're going to be.
We haven't even talked about what we're doing for Cora yet, have we?
I have an idea what we're doing for Cora.
Oh, well, enlighten me. You guys, just to give you full transparency, I have no idea what time our flights leave or come back. That was my first time hearing our itinerary. I just show up and Josh tells me what to do, and that is the best way to plan Disney, I think. But I think a lot of people assume like I'm the one doing all this planning, and they'll ask me questions and I'm like, couldn't even tell you anything. I know nothing. I show up and I am there.
I'm not Disney guy.
You're basically Disney guy. But anyway, yeah, so we have Wes in a blackout sleep tent that will go over his pack and play. Typically we use that for Cora, so let's talk about sleep. Kai's pretty good. Well, not lately here.
Not here. He'll be fine at Disney.
He'll sleep in a bed. Cora is she's my worry a little bit.
When she was crying last night, I was honestly like, she's the one who would be fine to come sleep in our bed and it wouldn't be a problem. Like Kai would be attached for life. Wes would be starting that too early. Feel like Cora's so independent. Like she's a little bit stuffy. She's upset. I think she would be.
We're going to find out.
I'm not saying we're going to find. I'm just saying I feel like she's the easier one. Knock on wood. I'll knock on my blockhead. So for her, we're just going to plop her in a bed and we'll throw up the blackout curtains.
Oh.
Pillows and blackout curtains. We could get a second pack and play, but Wes will have a pack and play and the tent and a sound machine. Mm-hmm. She'll either be in a bed or a pack and play and the blackout curtains. So if she doesn't do good on the bed, we'll order another pack and play. But those are already basically blackout curtains in the room. So we can bring them just to have them, but
yeah, that's true. The rooms there do stay dark. Okay, well, wish us luck, guys. That's the plan with sleep. But we do we'll be out a little bit later and they'll be up later from the fireworks. But when Cora went her first time, she was about 7 or 8 months, I believe. So kind of the age Wes is right now. And she would just nap. Like she napped on me for her first nap in the carrier while we were walking around the park. And we did go back to the room for a second nap, I believe. But she was very go with the flow. And at the end of the day, if they're tired, they're going to fall asleep either in the stroller or the carrier. So we kind of just understand that we're not abiding to their strict nap schedule / sleep schedule, because that's not realistic while you're in Disney World. But we will try to prioritize it and do what we can with what happens, and that's it.
We'll get close with the middle nap, like the lunchtime nap, the big one, Cora's nap.
Yep. So that's as long as they get one decent nap, for an hour or so, they're very flexible. They're fine. So sleep for us, same thing. We're not going back to the hotel and putting them to sleep and staying up. We're shot by the end of the day, so we pretty much go to sleep when we all get back.
We'll all be asleep, honestly, within an hour of a regular bedtime. If fireworks, what are fireworks, 8 o'clock? Or are they at 9? Are they at 9?
No, they're at 8. They're at 8 o'clock. So we're usually back and everyone's in bed by 9:30. And then we get up early, get everybody ready, and we're on to the next thing the next day. But Yeah, sleep is pretty consistent there, I will say. So that is good.
And even when the second night, we won't be in Magic Kingdom. We won't be staying for fireworks. We'll be in bed even earlier. So that
Yeah.
won't be crazy.
So sleep, check.
Up at 7, same time, typically 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll wake up, go down. So let's just go with the flow of the day. Um, Wake up at 7, get everyone ready. We can order breakfast on the app. So as far as food, controlling what we control there, we will bring some like protein bars. I don't know if we brought like a whey shake last time or just like RX bars to eat at the park.
We brought a ton of different protein bars and
Or do
go-go
we order them
squeeze.
on
We
delivery?
Instacart a bunch of stuff to the room. So that's hack number one is Instacart water bottles and snacks because you could bring stuff into the park. So we'll
Mhm.
bring snacks for the kids. We'll bring some protein bars for ourselves. I don't think we even brought whey protein last time. I think we just lived on the
I
bars.
think we brought a bunch of the first form bars. That's what we had.
Yeah, we don't use those anymore, but we'll probably bring like RX bars. We like the IQ bars. The kids love those. So just having things like that in the stroller will be helpful. Obviously, water. We bring our electrolytes because
Mm.
it's obviously warm. Although it looks like it was going to be kind of chilly last time I checked, but it's
What is
warmer
chili,
there.
70?
Well, 66 I think one day was, but that's better than here. So just, staying on top of hydration and electrolytes for us is huge also. Um,
Well, let's scroll it back. So that's kind of, we'll sprinkle that in throughout the park. But wake up, get them ready. We'll shoot down all the order on the app. So just best choices. Even the food isn't that different, honestly, than what we have here. So for myself, I'll have the eggs. They have oats, and then like
Fruit cups,
bacon, fruit
yogurt.
cups, sausage. The kids will do that and like a Mickey waffle. So it's not their protein waffle, but okay, a couple eggs or a piece of sausage and a Mickey waffle, and they're pretty much good. They'll have a carton of milk, and
Yep.
then we'll rock and roll to the park. Snacks within a few hours, what we just mentioned, and then lunch. Honestly, there's a lot of options available, so we don't go the fast food route like ever when we're home or when we're away. It's quote unquote fast food, but it's not terrible. There's some decent options. There's smokehouses, and then there's like sandwich shops, and there's coffee
They have
shops. You can
salad places. Like I
salad exactly.
remember we were walking around Epcot and they have some. It was at one of like you can order through the app, which is fast food technically, but it was like a decent salad with like goat cheese and nuts and chicken and
Hmm.
whatever. So like they do have decent options there, and I'm sure this has changed over the years too. But I will say, like, I was pretty impressed with the food that they have there, just outside of like sit down restaurants.
Yeah. So then we'll go through the chaos of everything else. And dinner is actually pretty solid. So the
Dinner's
place
like
is,
our chill time. Like, we sit down for dinner, and like everybody's starving pretty much all the time because, you're walking 20,000 steps per day. Um, they usually chill and they'll play at dinner, but it's like that's like our breath of fresh air where we refuel and come back up.
I laugh every time we do this. We've done this with other people a few times. Like, so Joelle came last year. This
We've
year,
never been without someone else,
like
have
your
we?
sister came once.
My sister did. My
That was
brother
the
met us there
closest.
for a day, and then it was Joelle last year. Who else? Was that it? I guess that's it. Usually my sister comes though. We never.
If it's nobody else, it's your sister usually.
Yeah, yeah.
She's the Disney lady. She's the
She's
one
the
who's
Disney
led the
girl.
way.
She's getting married though, and is a school teacher, so she wasn't able to join us this time. So we're going with the neighbors though, and it's just like that's our. I don't know. Dinner like literally refuels us, but also like mentally refuels us somehow.
Well, that's what I was getting at. Is when we go with the people, and I'll like talk about booking dinner, I laugh. I'm like the rides and the parks and the day, like that's for the kids. Like dinner is for us. Dinner is like what I look forward to. So there's two that we usually go to. So Ohana, which is like it's the Hawaiian theme at the Polynesian resort, and it's like all you can eat shrimp, chicken, steak. The dessert
So
is
many protein
crazy. So
options.
many protein options. They're good. Like it's not fried crap. Like it's delicious. I think it's literally grilled. All the above. The
Yeah, they
shrimp, the
have like
chicken, and the steak.
noodles. They have do
Yep.
they have rice? Yeah, like so it's like build your own like high protein dinner. It's really awesome, and it's
Let's
all you
not
can
build
eat.
your own. They just bring it to you. Do you want more? Do you want more?
Well,
Do you
they
want
bring
more?
it in like it's not like a dinner. meal. Like they bring it in, like they batch cook your dinner, like how we prep our food here. Like they'll come out with a big tray of chicken and they'll come out with the big tray of shrimp and like load you up that way. So it is kind of build your own plate. But they just keep coming, like as much as you want. They will just keep bringing it out, which is my favorite.
So that's one of our staples, and we did get that one again this time. The other one that we usually do is like Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm a little bummed because it actually is Thanksgiving this time around that we're going, and it's all you
But
can
we'll
eat
have
again.
our
So
normal Thanksgiving dinner a couple weeks
I
later.
know, but it's nice when you just show up. So they have a crazy good salad, which you have to be careful because you can fill up on it because it's so good. So you got to stop. And then it's the mashed potatoes and the stuffing and the cranberry sauce and the
It
turkey.
is really
And
good.
what's the other meat? Is it pork?
That's
I
at
don't eat the other one.
It's Liberty Tavern is the name of it in
What's
Magic
the other meat
Kingdom.
though? The turkey, and then is it? It's not ham. Is it pork?
It's not ham. It might be pork. I'm not sure. I don't ever eat that one. I'm
I
not
don't
like
eat
a
that
dark
either.
meat girl. But yeah, that one is good, but we're not doing that this time.
And then the ooey gooey toffee cake at the end.
That's deathly.
It's crazy good. So
It's like, but you're so full by that point, like you really can't even eat that much.
which
of
is
it.
good because you filled up on the protein and the vegetables, and then you have like a reasonable serving of that, and you want to get your money's worth because it's all you can eat. But no, like we don't leave feeling crappy because it was bad food. The times that I leave feeling not so great, it's because I'm like, well, this is all you can eat, and I'm most definitely going to get my money's worth for all you can eat because we kind of overpay for the kids, so I'll make it back up on my plate. So that's like the dinners we knocked those out of the park. So that one we skipped because this year they have a new one. Is it Spaceship Space 220 or something? I don't
You're
even know what movie it's
asking the
based
girl
on.
who just shows up. I have no idea.
Anywho, it looks like a really cool experience that the kids are gonna love. So you get in, it's like you're taking off and like launching in this rocket. So there's like screens below you and above you, and it looks like you're taking off from Disney. And then you look up and you're entering outer space, and you land at this space shuttle, and then it rotates, and then you walk onto the ship, quote unquote, which is the restaurant, just floor, and then the whole thing. I think it's a giant circle, but it's like a big high def screen where it looks like you're in space looking down at Earth. Pretty expensive, so I hope it's really good food. Honestly, didn't really look at the menu. It was new. Everyone recommended it, and it was just the experience. Like the kids are gonna freak out. I told Kai we're actually going to space for dinner.
He'll probably believe that. But yeah, dinner is fun. I want to roll it back a little bit because there have been times where we've gone to Disney. I think the only other time where I wasn't pregnant, where I would wake up and I would run. So
Weren't you training for a race though? Wasn't there a race at that
I was
time?
training for the 10K, so it wasn't anything significant, but I was just like, I wanted to keep consistent with that. But I think that like I'm not planning on doing it this time. But I would wake up and run at I would wake up 5:30, sneak out the door and get a few miles in. It wasn't anything crazy.
It is a pretty great place to run though.
It is an awesome place to run. So like that's the only reason why I kind of want to do one run. Maybe we'll alternate if you want to do one and I'll do one. But we're not planning on it. Yeah, we'll see how we feel. But yeah, that's really the only type of fitness, like actual fitness that we do there. There is no gym. I don't even think there is a gym if we wanted to work out.
We just haven't even looked for it.
Yeah, like it's just not. We're only away for 3 days because Monday we'll probably do a workout here before we leave. So it's not that big of a deal. But with that, you're doing a ton of movement. Like I said, like an average day at Disney is 20,000 steps, if not more. So it's not really something where we're like, you're constantly on the move all day long. You're walking to and from certain places based on where you have lightning lanes. Like we are not really sitting often. The only times we are sitting is to eat, I would say, or on a ride.
By the pool if they're napping.
Well, one of us will have to stay in the room, but yeah, so you're very mobile. You're moving a lot. That's not a concern. We're probably getting more steps than we would get at home. So that's a perk.
If you didn't track it, it didn't happen. You don't actually have to do that when you're at Disney. You just know that you moved plenty.
You can just feel it. Your body is like ready for bed by the end of the day.
And it's a power walk. Like I fired off. Those are the first 3 rides. As you check into the rides, you can then rebook the next ride. And the way that I do it, like I can get us rides stacked at like efficient times, but they're typically on opposite sides of the park because I don't have the park memorized like your sister does. So it's
Mm,
like this one's here at this time, and then as soon as we get off, we have to run across that park to go to this one, and it's like a giant star. We're zigzagging across the whole thing, so it's not like a casual walk, like you're always moving. Like
we're
we're
booking
typically
it.
hustling. We're pretty much hustling and bustling all day. It's eating, that's sleep, that's movement, training.
Training,
We touched on
mindset.
mindset. You just unchecking. This is family time.
Someone asked me, I think it was yesterday or the day before, like after all the Halloween candy madness. They are a new parent. They have a baby. They're not even like in that season of life where they're doing trick or treating yet. But they were like, "What? How do you guys approach Halloween as parents who live a very health centric lifestyle?" And in my mind, I'm like, God, I feel like we've talked about this so many times, but I guess we haven't really talked about it in a long time. Kind of just goes along with this whole episode. You know, we eat well and train hard and focus on all of these things because we want to live a full and happy lifestyle. And I think it can, when you start to jump into the health side of things, into the fitness side of things, it can feel really overwhelming and feel like you have to restrict everything and check every product that you use, and like you should only use all the clean things, and like it can get to the point where it becomes very obsessive, and I don't think that's healthy either. We approach Halloween and candy and holidays in general as a day. It's something that we like to enjoy with our kids. We had a handful of candy each. You know, our kids had some candy on Halloween. It's not something they have every day. And I think that's the reminder and message I want to send to you guys is you can still enjoy these things if you want some candy, or you want the Thanksgiving dessert, or you want the ooey gooey toffee cake at Disney, or Disney ice cream. Like, life is meant to be enjoyed, and you don't want to parent in a way either where you're instilling these very restrictive and harsh rules on your kids that then end up backfiring against you. You don't want to say, like, you can go trick or treating, but you can't have any candy. You can't eat the candy that you get, or, you know, we don't do that because candy is really bad for us. Like, that's not helping them either. So, our approach is true moderation, and we have a whole episode on what true moderation means, but we approach life with everything in moderation, and we're going to enjoy holidays. We're going to enjoy these things together and understand that this is not something we have every day. It's a special occasion, and then we have our things that we have most of the time.
And Kai is very, very good at this already. Like, it'll be someone's birthday or just a Sunday at the Daniele house and there's 14 desserts on the table. And Kyle leave a bunch of food on his plate. Not food, like dessert.
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 Yeah.
Like there'll be a 3/4 uneaten piece of cake. He's like, Daddy, I'm done. Is that okay? Yeah, you're
And
done.
he'll be so excited for it. That's the thing.
Hmm.
Like, he's still so excited about the dessert and like cookies, Christmas cookies, birthday cake, and he just listens to his gut. Like, he eats till he's full and he knows when he's done, and he'll leave it on his plate. And I think that's awesome. Like, that's what we want for our kids. So if you're struggling with how to navigate that as a parent, I just want to remind you, like, it's okay to enjoy it. Don't have it every day. Have some set family core values and rules that you want to implement that are in alignment with how you want to live. But understand that it doesn't have to be like this all or nothing approach to holidays, to fitness, to any of the above.
So I know I rapid fired trying to explain what our check marks were for our way. So training, nutrition, mindset, movement, habits. That's the L5 method. So that's what we preach at Love Evolution Coaching. And just wanted to highlight what that was because it's not a one size fits all plan. Like, it's a blueprint we use throughout life. And the whole purpose of that is just have a plan in mind for one of those pillars for wherever it is that you are in your phase of life, going away, trip, vacation, whatever it is. Like, what am I doing for this? What am I doing for that? And it's not some elaborate thing. So, for example, for movement, we know we are going to move. That box is just checked. We're moving at Disney. When we're home, we do a morning walk. We do an evening walk. We'd like to hit 10,000 steps. Sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 8, but we're trying to move throughout the day. If we're stuck at the desk, we're consciously making that decision. So it's just having a plan for each of those. They get bigger, they get smaller based on what you can do, time available, what phase of life you're in. If you're trying really hard to hit a specific goal, that thing is going to get a little bigger, that specific protocol. You might train 5 or 6 days a week. And then when things are busy or you're maintaining, scaling that back to 4 days a week. You'll still see great progress. I'm not saying that, but you get the idea. You might be on a full-blown diet. You might just be focusing on consuming a protein and a plant in every meal, like a portion of each. So those are the things like, well, what are you going to do? What do you think about? Those are the things we're thinking about. It's not some big elaborate, here's the whole thing we're going to be doing while we're away with our family at Disney. It's no, here are the check boxes that we're going to be marking off that are going to allow us to feel good and to thrive and have a great time with our family. This is what fits. This is what I want to do. This is what adds value to everything else that we're doing. So that's a quick overview of what we're going to be doing and focusing on next week. You got anything else for him?
No, I think that was good.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap up this conversation with the reminder that change does not come in one big moment. It's built in the ways you keep showing up. So take what you learned today and build the best version of yourself for tomorrow. If you have not left us a review and you're beyond that 3-episode rule, please drop us a quick 5-star. That is all we ask. You are the Fitness League. This is not a monetized podcast. That's what helps us grow, reach someone else who could really benefit from another free resource. Where can they find you?
I'm at Alessandra Skutnik.
I'm at Josh Skutnik.
And everything else you need is linked in the show notes.